He was not gay. Just gotta say. Welcome back to BDPC. I'm Micayla. I have Alanna and Allison. Ooh, I got that right. I usually call you Alanna, and you Allison for some reason.
When?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the true
And then
twins.
I called
the true twins.
I called Hazel Alanna.
Hazel.
Yeah, I don't know why I did it.
A lot of people call me Alanna, but usually I'm called Alanna. No, actually, Miss Rebella calls me Ava all the time, and she always calls Ava Alanna. Both of us are the only ones, like the few people that are still here from Into the Woods. She still hasn't got our names down.
That's so bad. That's so foul.
This episode, we're going to talk about Seussical, the musical. Did I just say that right?
Yeah.
The musical, Seussical.
Seussical the musical.
Seussical musical. Seussical the musical. And what were you, Allison, in Seussical the musical?
I was the Cat in the Hat.
The main character.
Yeah, I was.
And you, Alanna?
I was Gertrude McFun.
What?
That's a horrible
Why are you
name.
laughing about that?
Stop! Leave me be.
That's a horrible name.
That's
Gertrude.
foul, Micayla.
Stop it, Gertie.
Oh, sorry for anybody that has the name Gertrude.
Yeah, my great-grandmother's name is Gertrude.
Ooh. Ooh.
Gertrude Robidoux.
Ooh.
Micayla,
Sorry,
you're about to be canceled.
Alanna's grandmother.
Sorry, grandma.
Lo siento, grandma.
So, what's really Seussical? Like, I don't really... you guys say it's multiple books, but I thought it was just one book, the elephant book.
Okay, no. So there's a bunch of Dr. Seuss books that he's wrote, right? There's there's the Lorax. Lorax is mentioned once, one singular time.
When was that?
Reference. Not even.
The truffula trees were all cut down. That's all they get.
I didn't even hear that.
So then there's the Cat in the Hat book, which is different from the Horton Hears a Who book. And then on top of the Horton Hears a Who book, there's the One Feather Tale of Miss Gertrude McFuzz. And then on top of that, there's there's two Horton the Elephant books. One is Horton Hears a Who and one is Horton Sits on an Egg. And then there's also the Circus McGurkus.
So
The Circus McGurkus is its own book. Well, it's like, they pull like a bunch of characters from like all of Dr. Seuss's different books. Like we mentioned Sneetches at one point.
Yertle
like
the
it
Turtle.
gets crazy. Yertle the Turtle.
He was
Yertle
the
the
judge.
Turtle he's a judge, but the whole story of Yertle the Turtle is he's like this dictator and he's like, I own whatever I see, so I'm gonna stack all these turtles on top of each other and I'm gonna be the top turtle. And then they're like, well, I don't want to stack for you anymore, so then he just falls to the ground.
Would in fact
So
be a
I'm not
horrible
sure how it didn't translate to the musical well.
I've never seen that one. The book?
Yeah.
You should read it.
I was obsessed with Dr. Seuss as a kid. I had all of his books.
The only ones that I was Green Eggs and Ham. I didn't really read the elephant one that much.
That's sad.
I think I read it once.
I will say, I watched the cartoon as a kid, and so we had the Wickersham brothers in the show, and they're from Horton Hears a Who. The Wickersham brothers in the original movie are terrifying. Like, I'm gonna need you
Are
to
they
like
the monkeys?
Yes, the like weird little things, and they're like, "We're the Wickersham brothers." They're scary, dude. They're weird.
Yeah, that's bad.
I thought one of my
Now we
friends
just have
was
the
a cat.
goofballs.
I thought one of my friends was the cat. But then
Wait, who?
hold on. You'll know. From like the whole play to the second part, I thought my friend was a cat, but she was a kangaroo.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, she was a kangaroo?
She looks like she's closet cosplaying Catnap from Poppy Playtime.
No, that's foul. Alanna! That's real, but Alanna!
I'm sorry, Ayla. I love you, Ayla.
She did amazing though.
Wow.
She did really good.
She sang beautifully. And I'm so sorry that no one who didn't watch it could hear it. Sadly, we do not have any of the footage.
I think
Sad.
someone's got to have footage.
Copyright.
Oh.
Copyright.
We can't distribute it.
Yeah, sadly. So if you got to see it, good. Congrats. I almost said good job. Congrats. But if you didn't see it, you kind of missed something.
You missed something awesome.
You did. Also, kudos to that one over there because they went on stage with a concussion every single night.
Do you want to explain how you got that concussion?
So, I get there. So we had this platform. One of the main plots of the story is Horton the elephant. Okay, so I have to start at the beginning. So So there's this bird Maisie, and she gets. She has an egg.
Yeah,
So then she's like, Horton,
It's my baby.
So Horton, I don't want to take care of this baby anymore. Can you take care of it for me? So he's like, okay. So he's sitting on the nest. So the nest is this like wooden structure that we had to build. And so it was just this little platform that our Horton sat on. And there was this little like cubby inside where you could hide stuff in. That's where we had like the clover and stuff. So I had a flashlight in the scene before that I would use to like shine around on everybody. And I would put the flashlight down on the platform, but I wouldn't put it in the cubby. I would just put it back on the end. So one of the thing one, Colin, was like, can you put it in the little cubby so it doesn't fall off when I move it? Instead of him putting it in, I had to put it in. So I go to put it in, but I'm standing in a new place now. And since I was standing in a new place, I like popped back up. I smacked my face into the bottom of the seat, dude. You're probably not going to be able to see it, but there's like a very like thin line. You could see it more on the BDTV. You could see it like really bad on this week's BDTV.
I didn't really look.
But so I had this like huge gash on my face. I had like an egg like right here, and like I like dropped down to the ground, and like I couldn't cry because it was right underneath my eye. So if I started crying, it would start burning.
Oh, and your
so I
tears
literally
have
just had to
salt.
lock in. So I was just. Yeah, so that's what happened. And then
the next day she went on to BDTV with big bright lights.
yeah.
And it was impressive, though. Alanna was able to do the entire show, and I give huge kudos.
You did all the shows?
I did all the shows. I was gonna drop one of the nights just to try and like sleep and recover a little bit. But then we got a text in the group chat from Finn going, hey, I'm not gonna be there. I'm like, ooh, okay, so tonight's not gonna work.
That was that night?
Yeah.
But I gotta say, congrats to Adam for
Adam did so
Yes, he did.
good at filling
because of Finn dropping out. Adam had only one day.
They pulled him out of class, and straight up in the middle of the school day, he had to learn
Yeah,
an entire
in
part.
one day,
A
and
part that
it
he
was,
hadn't been there for because most of the rehearsals where even he was a cadet, he was supposed to be practicing, he was still recovering from surgery.
ACL.
Wow.
Imagine having what?
I don't know.
No, that's real.
Okay, anyways.
No, but he did an incredible job. He was there Friday night. So if
Friday.
you were on there Friday,
Yes,
you didn't have
Friday.
Finn as the
Which
general. You had Adam,
Adam.
and he did an amazing job. He didn't forget any of his lines.
I
He
went
was
to the
good.
Friday one, and I gotta say, you all did amazingly. I did tell Allison when we had that intermission of what Adam looked like. You know, the general from the insurance. I couldn't. He was like
so
the
funny.
perfect size. And
It's
the
like-
hat was like over here. It was
Yeah.
perfect. He looked exactly like him.
He did.
I liked Finn as the general as this like big, tall, overpowering figure, but something about little 5'1" Adam on that stage just parking and barking just.
While his two generals were like 6 feet tall.
And then he was shorter than JoJo, so every
Yes!
single time he stood next to JoJo,
This is no time for play. You will listen to me. And JoJo's like, okay.
Looking down. Okay, whatever you say.
insane stuff.
Was Finn the only one that was not there
Yeah. So
for the
he
whole
was-
entire?
yeah.
Not like for all the shows. Was there? Because I heard there was some people who were getting sick.
Everyone was there except Finn for that one day because everyone was real troopers
Yeah.
because people were like, I'm going to throw up. I don't feel good.
So
And then
that's
they
the
still
thing
went.
too. On top of my concussion, I still had the stomach bug. I couldn't keep food down for 5 days. I was like, hey, should I go to the ER? But if I go to the ER, I can't be on stage. But then at the end of it, I was like, thank God, at least once this is over, I don't have to go to school on Monday. Guess who recovers Sunday night?
You?
No. Dude, I didn't even go to school Monday.
I can-
Actual torturous behavior.
I can like sleep. I'll recover on Monday. Psych.
So then I got one good night of sleep tonight. Today's Tuesday, and I got a horrible, horrible migraine. I'm assuming from the insane amounts of stress I just put my body under for a week.
Probably.
So then I have this insane migraine. I go to sleep at 4:30. Who's waking me up at 5 a.m. but little Harry Houdini trying to crawl out my bedroom window.
Her cat.
My cat.
Oh. I'm like, huh?
My cat climbed onto my nightstand to get at my window and was confused why he couldn't get out. There's a screen on my window. Okay, Seussical. My cat's not in Seussical.
You sure?
He kind of looked
Should've
like
been.
Allie. He's just a black cat. I'll send you a picture so you can show him.
Yes, please do.
Thank you.
You did really good.
Thank you.
Not saying you didn't either. You did
You did
wonderfully.
amazing.
Yay!
Yay! But you.
Please excuse the interruption.
No. All right. So, holy mackerel! I have dry throat.
Real.
No, thank you though.
If you
Go ahead.
I was just talking about hiding the storybook.
if you want to talk like about audition processes, etc., I can so be your go-to because I'm going to college for musical theater because I don't like money. So
What did you originally like audition for?
the cat.
Oh.
It was mostly because I felt like I could play the cat and it really fit in with my personality. But my second one was Gertrude McFuzz, as everyone's was.
Mine wasn't.
What was yours?
I didn't want to be Gertrude. I really wanted to be Maisie LeBird. And I was like, Gertrude's boring, and every single person who sings her in every cast album sings in the highest, most nasally, high-pitched voice you can think of.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, this girl is annoying. I hope they
Maisie-
don't think I'm annoying and cast me as her.
Maisie is the one that ditched the egg.
Yeah.
She ditched the egg.
I
Maisie
was
was
like, that sounds fun.
Ditching the egg?
Yeah.
the experience. Her songs are so fun though. Like honestly, like I was once
They're
a
very
my
like
little bird.
jazzy.
They're very like a tango kind of.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there was this one performance. There was this one performance
Okay.
of.
That's her little trill she does. I wasn't just making noises.
No, that's valid.
You sure?
There is this one performance of Seussical where it was played by a drag queen, Maisie LeBird, and it was so good.
So you've both watched the Broadway version of Seussical.
Yeah.
If
Something close.
you could take what they had and put it into yours, what would it be? Like dance moves or cast members
We
or
don't really get to pick a lot of our own dance moves. It's mostly choreographed for us.
right.
We don't really. I mean, there's a couple. The director sometimes, if she trusts you, she'll be like, you can make your own dance combo, but like not a lot of people. We had like I think 2 people who did dance combos, and it's people who like take dance lessons. So usually it's very like already planned out for you.
Right.
So I feel like it's a lot more like adapting your character to what she gives you, if that makes sense, what the director gives you to work with.
Yeah, that's the main like issue and plot point. Like as Kat, she kind of was like roam free, do whatever you want, blah 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 blah. And so my main issue was fitting into her vision, doing what she believed was best for the show, for the character, while also staying true to my interpretation of the cat, which is like while he's chaotic, he also like does care about JoJo because he has that entire scene where he's like, JoJo, you're amazing, and he does end up giving JoJo the hat. So while he does send JoJo to war, while he does make JoJo in trouble with his parents, he does care. So it was hard to adapt.
I was going to say, I don't know if we needed the cat to interfere with JoJo's parents. JoJo's parents already looked like they were going on a downward spiral.
That's valid, yeah.
Their son, like, thinks a little bit, and they're like, this is absolutely horrible. We have to send him to war.
Butters that up or butters that down.
Imagine if your parents
yes.
did that. Imagine if you, like, were like, hey, Mom, I've got a great idea for, like, a book. And she's like, all right, I hope you know how to swim because I'm sending you to the Navy.
So how was it? Actually, I want to know this because this is very interesting. You worked with the little ones.
Itty bitties, yeah.
Itty bitty little babies. How was that?
I liked it personally.
I loved them. They were my little
They were so
babies.
cute.
They called Alanna mom.
They called me their mom. It did get awkward at one point, so I went out with them after the show, and one of the little girls, she runs up to her mom, and she's like, Mom, look, it's my new mom. I like her better. As the mom is, like, looking at me, I'm sitting there in a blue wig with feathers, like, taped to me. I'm like, hey.
Insane.
Awkward.
I liked them. They were all so full of energy and joy, and it was really nice to like see that, especially because
They were all so cute.
They were adorable. I think my biggest concern that comes with any of it is just having young kids being around older kids.
Yeah.
And then also, like, the Seussical set was very, very involved. So it was a
Right.
lot of working with our director, Miss Rebello. She was very diligent in making sure that, like, the kids weren't up on any dangerous sets and stuff like that, and, like, reminding them that it, like, is like a construction site pretty much. It's still being built. There was power tools, there were saws, there were screws. So it was teaching those kids and explaining to them how to say safe while also still enjoying their role.
Stave.
Okay.
Can you be kind? Can you be kind?
No,
Can you
actually.
spread happiness and joy?
Oh, but it was really sweet.
She does.
My favorite moments.
She just said Stafe.
Stafe.
Because I made a, I was gonna say a spelling mistake.
You messed up. Yeah.
Spelling
No,
mistake.
no, you messed up. That sounds so mean. I'm sorry. No, but it was really sweet to see the kids because they were also happy. They were like, "You did amazing!" And then at one point, this is my favorite story. I'm not gonna
Don't
say
you
any
love
names.
kids?
Not gonna say any names, but 2 of the kids would help this other person get quick change. Last day show, I was so out of it. I had to tell you, I skipped school on Monday because I was so out of it. Like the energy that it took to do
Cat
in the Hat. Literally, I could not cry on my last show because I cried during my thank you, and then that was it. Like I there were no more tears.
I started sobbing in the middle of my song.
That's so real though. But there were these 2 kids that would help quick change somebody. I forgot to do it, or I forgot to help the last day, and they were already on it. Like they
Aw.
like that. I was like, oh my god, they're the sweetest things ever, and they're so willing to help and so willing to lend a hand, and it's just so nice to see.
All right, last question before we wrap this episode up. If you could give anybody advice on auditions, on the set, anything, what would you say? Alanna, you want to go first?
Just do it. Just audition. I think our school has so many more performance ensembles than people think. Like, plays, you don't have to sing. If you think you're better at singing, do a musical. If you think you're better at dance, do color guard or do dance team. If you think you're only good at singing and not acting, do choir. Like, just do something. It's been scientifically proven that singing and pretending makes you feel better, and it lessens anxiety, and it does so many beneficial things that, like, why not do it? What do you have to lose by doing it?
Snaps, to piggyback off of you, a lot of people don't realize how helpful the arts can be. For instance, drama, you utilize those skills every single day. Public speaking, being on this podcast, being able to public speak, being able to go with the flow, like ad-libbing or like just going with the story, being able to conjure up a line out of thin air, being able to being able to adapt to situations like Adam when he had to step in as the general.
Working together so you have that support system. If something were to happen, you know that there's people there to back you up.
Exactly. All of those things are things that you can use in real life. So if anything, while you may not see the benefit yourself, try it out. If you don't like it, then you don't need to do it, but do an art thing. Do
Even
something.
if you don't want to be on stage, we have tech. Do you know how much fun it is to build sets? I was after school making clovers. I was painting. I was like building monkey bars. Like, there's other stuff you can do. Just do something with your time. I think one of the biggest things I've heard from my own family members and adults is they feel like they didn't do enough in high school. They said that they went at home after high school, they did their homework, and then that was it. Maybe
That
they
was
played
me
a sport.
half of high school.
They wished they had done more. So if you wish you were doing more, do
it.
this.
It's crazy. You will cry. It will be a lot, but it is rewarding at the end of the day. And trust me, I wouldn't change it for the world. I am going to college for it, so.
Yeah, you're crazy. Just kidding.
No,
All
I'm
right,
crazy.
that is the end of our Seussical, the musical episode. Thank you, Allison and Alanna. I did it again. See you next episode. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Bye.
Goodbye.